Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. And if it's your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. Today we're doing a pick a card reading on how would a tarot reader describe you. So this one's going to be pretty fun. I am on vacation, hence why I don't have my normal crystals with me, and the setting looks a little bit different, but let's have some fun today. Let's see how well I can read you and how well I can articulate how a tarot reader would describe you. So we have three piles that we're working with. The first one is pile 1 with this beautiful green bracelet here. The second is pile 2, and this is the Amazonite bracelet. And the third is pile 3, and we have this gold earring here. So take a moment and turn your thoughts and your intuition inwards. And then once you find the pile that speaks most to you, you can fast forward using the timestamps below to get your own personal reading. And I will see you all there. Thank you so much. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So this is your first card. You got Strength. And I'm just going to pull a couple other cards for you and see what comes up about how a tarot reader would describe you. So you got the Four of Feathers, which is the Four of Swords in this deck. You got the Seven of Cups here. And the Three of Acorns, which is the Three of Wands in this deck. And then we're also going to use the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot deck and see what comes through. Okay, you have the King of Swords. Seven of Cups, again. The Ten of Wands. The Tower. Seems like your pile is going through something right now. We'll tap into that. Five of Wands. And the Eight of Pentacles. All right, so let's get started. And I'm just going to share any intuitive messages I get as I go throughout the cards. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting is I think that at the core, your personality is actually pretty stable. I think you're the type of person who wants good things out of life and wants important outcomes. Like you want to achieve your dreams and your goals, but at the same time, you're not going to be frantic about it. And I feel like you are a stable person and like you're really trying to just do your best in life. So when we see Strength here and we have the Four of Swords, these two cards indicate a little bit of slowness. The first card is always symbolic of the person being read for. And so here we have an energy of courage and endurance. We have somebody who has been through a lot, but they're not backing down. And the elephant spirit is a really powerful spirit because the elephant is the type of animal that can be slow and steady, or it can decide to really like rear on its hind legs and make a big noise. But I feel that you are a determined person and that you have a lot of willpower. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm also getting that some of you have had a little bit of a troubled childhood. For example, maybe your parents were divorced, maybe you moved a lot when you were a kid. I feel like childhood wasn't always super easy for you. At this phase in your life, you really want to prioritize rest and you want to prioritize spirituality and well-being. That feels important to you, and it feels like you know that you're not all the way there yet, but how can you be? It always takes a while to tap into spiritual energy and really enjoy your life and see your life through that lens. But I think you're making a concerted effort, so that's really good. So I'm going to stay with this part for just a second here because clearly what I'm getting is you are at a confusing part in your life. You have the Seven of Cups twice. When we have the Seven of Cups, this is really about choice, but it's really too much choice at times. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are trying to decide between two different love interests or partners. I feel like that's coming up for some reason for some of you. I also feel like some of you might feel a little bit lost right now in your career. When we see this card, this is a sign that there are many paths that you could take. And I think that what you're struggling with is making the decision and feeling like, oh my gosh, if I make the decision, I am going to cause a tower moment for other people in my life and also perhaps for myself. So you are putting a lot of stress on yourself at this point in your life. And um, I totally get it. I've definitely been in those situations before. I think that what you're struggling with is the responsibility, especially with seeing strength here and the elephant. The elephant is like a very responsible type of person. So I feel like you're the type of person who doesn't sign up to do things unless you can do them well. And what you're struggling with right now is trying to understand, well, I need to make a decision and I know I need to make a decision, but I have no idea what decision to make. All of them feel really heavy, and they all feel like they're going to affect somebody else in some way, shape, or form. If, for example, you're thinking about like breaking up with a partner that you have, or even leaving a workspace you've been with for a while, it feels like this is really taxing at this time. And I do feel like you are the type of person who can put too much on your own shoulders and can get a little bit stressed because of your high expectations for yourself. Your spirit guides are saying something kind of funny about this man's shoes. So they're saying something like your shoes are very worn down. You've been going through this for a long period of time. This has been on your mind for a long time, and you know that when it happens, you feel it's going to be dramatic whenever you make a decision. You feel like it's going to take somebody by surprise, and like this is going to be a difficult situation for them to deal with. When we see the tower, though, I do want you to know that the tower is always about change that has to take place. It's change that is very important for you to act upon, even if it seems really hard. The tower is really about the crumbling of the old, and it's about bringing in the new, and it does happen in a shocking way. But what I'm getting for your pile in particular is that I think that you want to make a good decision, you want to make a clear decision. I think generally in life, you do make good decisions. And what I'm getting is you are collecting the information and you feel like you're being forced to act quickly and you're just not sure yet and you're just not ready yet. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. But I think overall, I feel that even if you are a little indecisive in this moment, I feel you're narrowing down your options. You're thinking critically about the different paths that could come about. And you're trying not to stress yourself out, but you know that it is a life change and it is a change for others as well. So I think this is kind of stressful for you, understandably. So with the King of Swords here, I feel like you're the type of person who is very logical by nature. I feel like you are a very responsible person. You might have difficulty exiting relationships, whether that be at work or in love. But I am getting something about, I think some of you have studied chemistry. That's something that's coming up. Your spirit guides are saying you're kind of scientific in a way, so that doesn't necessarily apply to all of you. If it doesn't, you can leave it. It doesn't resonate, that's fine. But for those of you where it does, I feel like you are very practical about your choices, and your spirit guides are showing somebody like measuring things, like a chemist measures liquid before they put it into a test tube. So you might have this energy of not only being a measured person, a stable person, a grounded person, but also being the type of person who wants to make really clear-cut decisions. I feel like you're very logical. You're not the type of person who wants to rush into anything. And so that's why this situation that's going on right now is stressful for you, because you kind of feel rushed. You feel like there will be some tension and some conflict in this situation. And so what I'm also getting is like a push and pull mentally with what's going on in your life. So one day you wake up feeling like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And you're kind of like this guy over here who's just ready to go and kind of approaching the situation from a new lens and is excited for life. But then another day you feel more like this guy who seems really pretty stressed and is carrying a heavy burden. And so it's hard for you to decide what way to go. I feel like your spirit guides aren't going to give you a clear answer, but they do want you to know that you don't have to fit in and you don't have to fit into the mold. They're drawing me towards this person here who has this polka dot outfit on, and then all the others have solid colors and solid outfits. And they're saying a lot of times you try to tweak yourself so that you fit into the mold, so that you please your family, your parents, other people around you. But actually, they're saying it's okay if you don't fit into the mold. And yeah, other people might find this a little bit shocking at first because you have fit into the mold in your past. But I feel like it's actually okay for you to be different and for you to work on this. You want to be a clear-minded person. You're a very hard worker as well. That's what your spirit guides are saying. They're saying that when you have a goal or an ambition, you will work towards it with steadiness. So what I was trying to describe before when I said this is, it's like you have goals. You're not going to drive yourself crazy and pull like a million all-nighters in order to get your goals done. Like, I think, goals come with time, but they come with stableness and good decision making. Here with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like you're meant to focus on the one thing that's in your path as opposed to all of the other things that you could focus on. So just focus on this one decision right now. That's what your spirit guides are saying. Don't drive yourself crazy thinking about all the other things that are going on in your life. I'm getting a lot about the medical field, pharmacy school, stuff like that. Just keep going on your path. Even if it's kind of stressful right now, you can do it. And then lastly here, you have the Three of Acorns, which is the Three of Cups. This is about exploration. This is also about celebration. I feel like with the giraffe here, your spirit guides are saying it's important to lift your head up from this situation that you're going through right now and try and just hold on. Oh my gosh. Hey. Okay. Yes. Okay. You have a message for the pile. Yes, that's nice. Thank you. What are you doing? You're so silly. I'm so sorry about that. A cat came out of nowhere. Maybe it had a message for you, but in any case, let's just finish this up here. So we got the Three of Cups, which I was saying is symbolic of celebration. It's also symbolic of exploration. So I feel like part of what you're going through right now is really trying to explore the different options in your life and trying to understand what is the best one for you. And I do think that you're going to make the right decision, even if it feels hard in the moment. It feels like it's definitely the right thing and it's the right path for you. So, how I would describe you, just to kind of sum all of this up, is I think you're a person with a lot of willpower. You really care about making good decisions. You're very committed to an outcome or a path. You're the type of person who wants to celebrate everything in life, like the small joys. Right now, you're going through a troubling time. It seems like things are stressful right now. You are nervous to hurt other people in your life, whether that be in love or career. But I feel like practically you are actually a hard worker. You are a stable person. You know that success is not by following a million different paths. It's by focusing on one, which is what we're seeing here. And you know that that's kind of what you need to do now at this stage in your life. So I hope that this helped you. I hope it gave you some clarity and guidance for your next steps. I would definitely advise just focusing on one thing right now, not trying to do everything, and then going from there and knowing that it's going to be okay and that you are going to make the right choice. So thank you so much. If you like this reading, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like to join a manifestation circle, we have one this weekend. You can get a ticket at the link below, and if you would like a personal reading, I'm also including the links below. So thank you so much and have a great day. Bye. All right, pile 2, welcome to your reading. So your first card is the World, which is super positive. So let's pull a couple more cards for you and see what else comes up. This is the Spirit Song Tarot deck. You got the King of Pentacles. And the King of Cups. The Page of Cups. The Empress. And I'll just pull some cards from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck as well. The World, again. Page of Swords. Ooh. The Four of Wands. The Seven of Wands. And the King of Pentacles again. I absolutely love it when people get the same card twice because it basically proves that tarot is something real. Like, it's statistically so improbable to be able to get the same card twice in the same reading. And you got the World twice, and you also have the King of Pentacles twice here. Let's kind of talk about those just to start off. So with the World, I feel like you are a very positive person. I feel like you are the type of person who always sees the glass half full, and I definitely get the sense that you have taken a lot of your life learnings and you're trying to put them all together at this point in your life. Luckily, it feels like everything is coming together for you because I'm getting the sense that all of the underbrush, all of the many mystical things in the world have taught you something and you're feeling really fulfilled. And I feel like you've discovered what your life purpose is, or at least it feels very close. And it's like the sun is shining on you and you feel very happy. So the first thing I get for you is I feel like you're a very happy person, and I feel that you prioritize joy and you prioritize having a good time, loving your family, loving the people around you, being very creative, open-minded, the type of person who wants to always learn, never wants to be stagnant. Definitely a lot of fluid energy, creative energy, joyful energy. And so I feel that you're going to be very successful in life, but that's really because of your mindset. It's not because of your fortune per se. It's not even because of your destiny. It's more because of the mindset that you have decided to adopt in this life, which is very positive and almost kind of happy-go-lucky. And I'm getting a lot of Piscean energy, so some of you might be Pisces or have that in your chart. With the King of Pentacles twice, I feel like you are a leader, and I don't think you're power hungry though. Like, the King of Pentacles to me is not somebody who's power hungry. This is rather the type of person who just wants to do their best for others, and by doing their best for others, I think that they're rewarded in kind. This card is symbolic of definitely being a ruler or someone that other people look to, so I find that you're a very admired person. And I feel like people really look up to you. They really trust your judgment. They trust your opinion. You're very level-headed, but you're also very positive. And I feel like if someone's going through a hard time, you can really help them see through that time, and you can help them understand what good can come out of that situation. So I feel that's really positive. You also are good at direction. So when I say that, it's not like all about making decisions, but rather I feel like you naturally know what to do in your life. I know that's kind of a weird way of saying it, but it's kind of like trusting your gut, but it's also a little bit more logical minded than that. So it feels like you naturally understand that you have a calling, and then the more that you follow that and you do so with logic at the same time, the more your life is transforming in really amazing ways. And so one thing I'm getting is you might have an idea of like, okay, I should do my yoga teacher training, and you just say, okay, yes, I'm going to do it. And you don't really second guess yourself. And I think because of that, you are able to balance both the masculine and feminine energies, or the yin and yang energies. And so here we have the King of Cups, And so having the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups together is really wonderful because this is the earth energy and this is the water energy. And having the King of Cups also shows that you can be emotional, you can be sensitive, you're very sensitive to others' needs. I feel like I would call you a compassionate leader or a very compassionate friend. I feel like you're the type of person who's one with nature for sure. Very balanced type of person, someone who wants to explore, wants to travel, wants to uncover new things in the world. I definitely get that you're very open-minded to newness. We have the Page of Wands here, and when we see the wands, wands are about ideas and about enthusiasm for life. So I feel like you want to explore, you want to travel. I do get something about Southeast Asia. I feel like some of you are interested in Buddhism and Hinduism. Also, Tibet is coming up for me. I feel like that's somewhere that some of you want to explore and want to check out during your lifetime. You're full of ideas, you're full of creativity. That's the type of person you are. You can get easily carried away sometimes with your ideas, but I feel like for the most part, you do a really good job at actually making them into reality. We have the Empress here, and when I see the Empress, this is somebody who's very grounded. You know, look at this rabbit in this card is extremely grounded, all 4 feet planted on the ground, looking towards the future, not looking towards the past. You know that you're meant to live a life of abundance, and you know that the sun is shining on you and that you are safe and protected in this life. And I feel you have a lot of faith in the universe, but you're also able to balance that with a logical mindset and a strategic mindset. I feel like as a employee, people really like you, they really resonate with you, you produce really good work, and I feel that many of you will want to kind of chart your own path, maybe have your own business one day. Travel is huge for this pile. I think many of you want to travel and maybe even live a little bit of a nomadic existence at some point during your life. So I wouldn't be surprised if you kind of hop from place to place and stay in Airbnbs and stuff like that. It feels like that would be really helpful for you, but also just a really happy time. I think that you're very good at connecting with people from different walks of life and different cultures. You come across as very humble and sensitive and caring, but at the same time, you come across as somebody who other people shouldn't really mess with. Like, you set good boundaries. I think that everybody likes you. That's a good thing. With the Seven of Wands here, I get that this is mainly connected to travel and really finding your innermost independence. So there may be a few difficulties in life, but I don't see that being significant. I see it being more like things that you have left to uncover about your independence and about your path. And I feel like you do it really well because this man in this tarot card here, he has a wand and he kind of staves off all of the difficulties that are in his path, and he's able to stand strong and be tough. And I feel like you have a lot of inner toughness, even though you don't always want to use it or need to use it, because I get that for the most part, your life is pretty harmonic. But when you need to use it, you have a lot of layers of toughness, and that's there for you. And then you also are able to make really good decisions. You're still tapping into the logical side of your mind. I feel that you're still kind of building that muscle. A lot of you have probably started to build that in recent years. So I know that's very broad, but for example, let's say that you're studying or something. I feel like that's really teaching you to be more detail oriented and more logical. And there's this huge part of you that is so creative by nature. And so the really good thing about this pile is you are balanced. You are able to balance the yin and the yang, the dark and the light, the masculine and the feminine. And all of this comes together to create a really happy life. Always save the best for last. We have the Four of Wands here. When we see this card, this is about happiness. It's about bliss. This is very much about feeling fulfilled and also feeling happy with where you end up in life. So I think you already know intuitively that you're going to be very happy in this life. I think you trust in the universe to provide for you. And I think because of that, your life becomes very abundant. And I would just say keep thinking that way because it's really working out for you. And I think that you will continue to experience this amazing life of abundance, really enjoying your community, leaning into spirituality, practicing yoga. For many of you, that's big, and balancing the masculine and feminine. So I hope that this helped you. I hope it gave you some clarity and guidance. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. If you would like to join our manifestation circle, it is this Sunday. We are focusing on connecting to the stories that our body holds and the tickets are down below. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be a lot of fun and really insightful. Also, if you would like a personal reading, you can always book using the links down below. So I will see you all very soon, and thank you so much for watching. Bye. Okay, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So your first card is the Knight of Shells, which is the Knight of Cups. Let's pull a couple other cards from this deck. This is the Spirit Song Tarot deck. Trying to understand how would a tarot reader describe you. Okay, you have the Nine of Cups here. Six of Swords. The Chariot. And the Queen of Swords. And then I'll also pull some cards from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. King of Cups. Two of Swords. Four of Cups. The Lovers. And the Five of Swords. Okay, so let's tap into any messages that come up. So the first thing I'm getting with the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups is I feel like you're the type of person who's willing to go after what you want. I think that applies to people, and it also applies to career goals, as well as just any goals that you have for your life about health and wellness and happiness. So with the Knight of Cups, I feel like I sense that you're an easygoing person. I feel like people do consider you to be pretty charming, but not in a weird way, more in a way where I feel like you're just really easy to talk to. Like if you start a conversation, I think it flows really well and naturally. Everybody sees that you have a very positive aura and good energy around you. And I feel like a lot of you have very beautiful eyes, or like your eyes are the windows to your soul. And when I say that, what I mean is I think that you have soulful eyes, like the types of eyes where somebody looks into them and just senses your good nature and senses that you're the type of person who is friendly and kind and really wants the best for everybody. So having the King of Cups here is definitely a positive sign, because this card is really all about being a master of emotions. So you've kind of gotten to the point in your life where not only do you respect emotions and let them pass through you, but you are also able to have mastery over them. So if you feel depressed or anxious or sad, you don't let that affect you to the state where it would really bring you down. Like you acknowledge it and you sit within it, but you don't let it just totally kind of kick up all the different things in your life or cause harm to you, for example. For some reason, that's what I'm getting about the King of Cups and the Two of Swords together. I'm getting that you know how to set your boundaries, you know how to be stable and realistic about things. You have learned at this point in your life that you've already been through a lot, and therefore you are not just going to float through life anymore. You are going to prioritize connecting with others, achieving your goals, and not taking on more than you can handle. I'm getting that in the past, some of you have had very chaotic work experiences, and a select few of you might still be going through this, but I think the majority of you are kind of over it, because when we have the Two of Swords and the Five of Swords together, I'm getting that a lot of this is in the past, and that you are not willing to go back to that place. You're not willing to let that energy back into your life. You are at the point in time where you are more than ready to move on. You have already proven to yourself that you are strong and capable. You don't need to deal with chaotic situations to prove anything to yourself anymore. And so therefore, you are willing to say no to things and people that don't really fit what it is that you want for yourself in your life. And so I think that many of you have gone through this transition in the last like 2 years, And for those of you who are still going through it, I want you to know that you're actually going to come out of it. If you're dealing with a chaotic workplace or a political workplace, or even people that are very constricting and troublesome to you, I think that over the next 1 to 2 years, that's going to be completely washed away from your life. And usually when we see the Four of Cups, this can hold a little bit of a apathetic kind of energy, but I'm actually getting that here it's like you have so many opportunities available to you, and you get along with so many people that you don't just need to accept anything. You have decided mindfully, I'm not just going to accept anything, I'm going to accept the things that make me truly happy and that really fulfill me. And that is how I'm going to make my money. That is how I'm going to serve the people around me. And that is how I'm going to reach the height of my intellectual wisdom and pursuit. So I feel like a lot of you really want to keep your mind sharp, and you're not willing to go into a dark place or a chaotic place in order to do that. So for some reason, this message was important for at least a couple of you in this pile. I'm actually going to talk first about the Six of Swords here. So transition and insight are the themes for this card. So you have been going through a transition for the last 3 years. And I get that for a lot of you, you are kind of right in the middle of it. So you're not quite at the end, but you are at the middle of it, and it feels like it's kind of the pinnacle before things start to plateau. But when I say plateau, I mean that in a good way. I mean it in a way where things will start to get more stable. I feel like a lot of you have had to either climb a ladder, and that could be at your career, or you've just had to do a lot of work in order to get to the place that you're at now. But I feel that where you are now is being celebrated, not only by you, but by others. I feel that you are seen positively by the people in your life. I think you have a strong community around you, people who know that you deserve what it is that you have right now. So I don't feel like people are very jealous of you. I don't feel like people are envious or trying to take anything away from you. I feel like for the most part, bar perhaps a couple people, most people in your life are very happy to see you succeed and see you gain a lot of strength and confidence. And I think that because of your nature, you're the type of person who really does well with people. So you might have worked in a lot of different environments. You might have done consulting work. You might have done customer service work. You might just be doing a lot of client work. For example, if you're like a coach, you might be booking a lot of different sessions with people. It feels positive. It feels like people really admire you and look up to you. With the Nine of Cups here, this is also about fulfillment, but in both an emotional and a physical sense. So as you can see, this penguin has all of these shells. This penguin looks very happy to have all these shells. It's quite a happy little penguin, really enjoying and looking back on its past successes and feeling justified in having what it has in life. And so again, I feel like you've had to work really hard to get to where you are, and now you're at the point in your life where you're really starting to celebrate things. And yes, there are still commitments, there are still obligations, there are still things that you need to do in order to sustain your way of life. But I get that you know you would never go back. That's the kind of energy I get. It's like you are where you are, you've gotten everything that you wanted to get. Of course, there will still be money to come, there will still be more clients to come, or whatever it is that you're looking for, but I'm getting that you wouldn't want to backpedal. You wouldn't want to go back to where you were before, and that even includes working with people who you worked with previously who didn't serve you. I feel that right now you're very good at setting your boundaries. So keep doing that, because yes, there have been things in the past that were rocky and there were storms that you had to weather. At least that's what I'm getting. But I'm getting that you're like, you know what? No, we're not going back there. We're not going to do that again. I'm choosing to live a more abundant life. And so I think you've been working a lot on your thinking and also your actions, and you've been taking more chances than you would have in the past. So we have the Chariot here. We also have the Lovers, both of these being major arcana cards and coming in the exact same order, which is really awesome. So when I see the Chariot, this is about discipline, determination, as this card suggests. You are very determined. I feel a lot of you want to influence the world on a broad scale. Some of you don't actually care about influencing the world on a broad scale, but what you do want is to have a very secure home life. Some of you have children already. For those of you who do, I'm getting that your children are your pride and joy, and that family is the most important thing to you, and you are willing to walk through a million different difficulties for your family. Just like this rhino here, this rhino is walking over this tree branch or bough, and there's all these kind of strands of ivy coming off of it, and that might not be particularly comfortable for the rhino to walk over, but the rhino is doing it anyways because it's very determined. Yes, at times there are things where you do feel that you've had to make sacrifices, but I feel most of them are over, and I feel that the rest of your life is actually quite enjoyable and fun. So you are determined, you're willing to do what you need to for your family. We have the Lovers here. This is a really good card for business and partnerships. So for those of you who are not in a relationship, I think that you meet somebody who is very easygoing and very easy for you to talk to. And I feel there's an instant connection with this person and that you will be very happy with this person. So if you haven't met them yet, I don't want you to worry because I definitely get that this person is there for you. I'm getting that for most of you, this has to do with career though. And I think your career is it's going on fire. That's what your spirit guides want to say, but I'm saying it in a positive way. Like, you know, when people say, oh, my business is blowing up, and they're saying it in a positive way, that's how it feels. It feels that you are taking all of the lessons you've learned and you are applying them towards your career and towards what it is that you're building and making, whether that be in a corporation or not. A lot of you are doing stuff that is not connected to a corporation. But even if you are, I feel that now you're applying all of the lessons that you've learned over the last 2 to 3 years, and you have been taxed with many different circumstances, a lot of changing circumstances. Your spirit guides keep saying like changing nature, so I don't know if you are working in a really chaotic environment or something that required you to be really adaptable, but I feel like you've picked up a lot of different skills, and that serves you well in life, and that makes you successful at pretty much anything you do. Like someone can give you a task and you can pretty much do anything. And I feel now that you're applying that more to your own happiness and your own abundance, you are going to be even more successful. I see success it's like radiating around you, especially with the Chariot here. I feel that this point in your life is a point to be celebrated. So if you haven't been celebrating, please celebrate because this is a very important stage and it is worth all of the celebration that there is. Last but not least, we have the Queen of Swords here. When we see the Queen of Swords, this is about someone who's decisive. This is about someone who's very strategic, somebody who doesn't say yes to everything. Like I said, they're swords, so they're keeping a boundary. They are only letting in what is going to be beneficial to them. This is also about perception and truth. So the other thing I'll say about this pile is even in the past, if you were easily gullible, you are no longer like that. You are the type of person who can see through things when not everything is adding up. You go with your intuition, you go with your gut. You're the type of person who really knows what's best for you. And because of that, you are able to soar. And just like this bat, you're able to fly off into the distance with very little baggage connected to you. So I definitely get that it's been a transitional time for many of you over the last couple of years, but I think you're in a really good point in your life, especially seeing the Nine of Cups, the Chariot, the Lovers. All of these cards are suggestive of emotional fulfillment and abundance. So definitely celebrate, and hopefully you liked this reading. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share it if you feel so inclined. We do have a manifestation circle this weekend. It's happening on Sunday. If you would like to join, we are talking about the stories that our bodies hold, and we're doing some spiritual work connected to that. So it will be a good one. It's not one to miss, so go ahead and book your ticket if you feel called. And if you would like a personal reading, you can always book using the links in my YouTube banner. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.